Wasn't that just amazing? Love that video. And that was the premiere. You guys are the first ones to see it, so. Our school patron and namesake, G.K. Chesterton, said education is the soul of society as it passes from one generation to the next. Over the past few generations, the soul was not being passed on. The flame of the faith was almost extinguished. But Chesterton Academy and students like Leo are part of a movement that is rekindling that flame. Let me introduce you to Leo, one of our freshman students. From a very early age, Leo has expressed an interest in the priesthood. This continued into his middle school years, especially as he learned to serve at the altar at his home parish. In considering options for high school, his parents were introduced to Chesterton Academies, which have demonstrated an incredible capacity for fostering vocations. 1 in 8 young men graduating from the original Chesterton School in Minneapolis have entered seminary. 1 in 8. Whew. And that trend has continued at many of the 70 Chestertons that have opened in the last 15 years. Of course, Leo's future is yet to be determined, but his parents believe Chesterton is already doing an incredible job of helping Leo develop into a virtuous, clear-thinking, well-rounded individual, capable of carefully discerning whatever vocation he is called to. The reason stories like Leo's matter is because Catholic education is in a crisis, and we need to cultivate and encourage more Leos. From 2000 to 2020, the Catholic Church in America experienced a net loss of its faithful. More people left the church than joined. Infant baptisms in the church fell precipitously over the last 25 years, from approximately 1 million annually to less than half that number today. Each of you here tonight knows someone, a friend, a family member, perhaps a child who has fallen away. The church's ministries and schools, which parents relied upon to partner with them in the formation of their children, who are the future of the church, have simply stopped working as they should. It was thought that many young adults question and lose their faith after moving out of their parents' home. But over the past 20 years, we've seen that teens are not even making it out of high school with their faith intact. In fact, research shows our young folks are beginning to question their faith as they are about to enter high school. The median age is 13. Secular and Catholic schools alike have focused more on pronouns, DEI, and woke agendas than on forming joyful, virtuous leaders and critical thinkers, priests and parents, politicians and poets, capable of carrying on the soul of our society, of fighting for the faith, and renewing both once again. There is a crisis in education, and there is a crisis in Catholic education. The faith is not being passed on to the next generation, and its flame and the soul of our society will die out if this continues. Something has to be done, and that something is Chesterton Academy of Northern Utah. Chesterton Academy exists to form joyful Catholic leaders through classical education rooted in truth and beauty. Educating children is akin to building a battleship in a safe harbor. We don't build our fighting ships out in the turbulent waters of the open ocean, but instead we build them in a protected port. The same is true for our children. We must provide a harbor, an environment to prepare our students to go out into the world to fight for the important battles for their faith. Chesterton is that safe harbor, that place set apart for raising up a new generation of joyful leaders and saints for the church here in Utah. Chesterton fully embraces a culture of life. As the only school in the diocese who prays outside of Planned Parenthood during the 40 Days for Life. Our students were just there on Thursday. Woo! They're also the only school that attends the Mass for the Unborn and the March for Life in January each year. Chesterton is the only school in the diocese that attends daily Mass. It is a core part of our curriculum, and we intentionally chose our location close to St. Olaf Parish for that reason. Our students regularly cite daily Mass as being one of the most significant and necessary components of their school day. Chesterton is the only school in the diocese where all of the staff, faculty, and board members take an oath of fidelity to the magisterium of the Catholic Church each year. And this doesn't hinder our recruitment, but instead helps us attract faculty who are excited to pass on the soul of the society to the next generation. Chesterton is in our third academic school year. Our students come from public, diocesan, and private schools, and homeschooling. We opened our doors in 2023 with 9 students. We are double that now with 18. We hope to double that number again in the next 2 years. And our 5-year goal is to grow the school to 60 students. Because we are a destination school, our students travel from as far north as Eden and as far south as Draper. The majority of our students ride the front runner to school. Families are willing to make heroic efforts and sacrifices to provide an authentically Catholic education, like Chesterton, to their students. But it takes more than the efforts of this generation of parents. Catholic education is and has always been a charitable ministry. It was the charitable ministry of a dedicated group of men and women who gave up having families, careers, salaries, and they chose a vocation to form the future of the church, to pass down the soul of the society to a next generation, to make excellent Catholic education affordable and often free for Catholic families, often families large in size, many of whom were initially outcasts in this nation. Those heroic men and women were the religious brothers and sisters and priests who founded, taught in, and ran our schools. Many of us here grew up formed by some of the last of those dedicated religious. But those sisters and brothers are no longer here. The collapse of religious orders created the need to pay full-time, just salaries for lay faculty and staff. With that, the cost to educate a student in Catholic schools has increased exponentially, pricing out many of the most Catholic families. Until schools like Chesterton Academy can once again produce the robust number of vocations needed to restore religious orders, another kind of heroic charity is needed to keep excellent Catholic education affordable for faithful families. That heroic charity is you. That new hero is you. The average family at our school has over 4 children, and next year, half of our families will have multiple students attending the high school. Unlike local diocesan and parochial schools, Chesterton receives no financial support from the church. Chesterton operates efficiently, effectively, and independently through the support of laity like you. Put simply, Chesterton relies on you. You can take up that heroic cause of the religious brothers and sisters of the past. You can make this school available and affordable for Utah's Catholic families seeking authentic Catholic education, and you can make a difference for the church in Utah. Leo is a student who is able to attend Chesterton because of our affordable tuition. The heroic charity of supporters like you make this possible. The work of Canoe is only getting started, and as you can see, over the past 3 years, we have already begun to impact students, families, and the wider community. Look at everyone here, it's amazing. It's just so awesome. And just the diocese as a whole. Imagine what we could do if we were able to increase our admissions and marketing to a larger audience and grow our enrollment by 2 to 3 times. Before coming to Chesterton, Leo was a self-described introvert with little interest in school beyond what was required. In the short time he's been attending our school, Leo has embraced the Socratic seminar model, breaking that mold of the introvert, becoming a vocal leader in his classes. His parents recently remarked upon the increasing joy and enthusiasm for learning that Chesterton has inspired in Leo, and have witnessed a deepening in his spiritual life. The kind of formation that is only possible when faithful families have access to affordable Catholic education. Next year's goal is to have a freshman class of 12 students. The Chesterton model is at the heart of renewal in Catholic education, striving to make this education within reach for all Catholic families, as Chesterton schools set our tuition 50% lower than the surrounding private schools, thus supporting our mission of a culture of life. And we are looking for partners in formation. The generation that benefited from the sacrificial ministry of the religious sisters and brothers has the opportunity to carry on this legacy and partner in our mission of raising up the next generation of leaders for the Church. As we work to substantially increase our student enrollment, we will be blessed with the next challenge of a place to put them all. We outgrew our original space. Our new building gives us room to welcome 12 more students like Leo and provides an environment in which our faculty and students can delve deep into the wonders of God's creation, literature, our faith, the fine arts, and so much more. With your help, we'll be ready to meet the growth God is already bringing. At the heart of any exceptional school, you will find amazing teachers. That is very much the case at Chesterton. Our faculty are building battleships in the safe harbor Chesterton provides, but they are also putting down their own anchors as a part of the Catholic Church here in Utah. An example of this is Mr. Doty, who grew up in Utah, converted to Catholicism as a 15-year-old reading Thomas Aquinas, and went away to college figuring he'd never come back to the Catholic desert of Utah until he found Chesterton Academy. Actually, I think it was his dad who found it, but yes, where he has found a home, an oasis of Catholicism in the desert. In his second year teaching at the school, Mr. Doty put it, "We are a family, a place where we care about the whole of one another." Mr. Marr moved to Utah in order to teach at Chesterton Academy. He has had an impact since the first day he arrived. Just a few weeks ago, after classes were dismissed, he rode the bus to the train station with his students to continue an engaging discussion on celibate versus married priesthood. That's the kind of formation we want to multiply. Mr. Marr and Mr. Doty are at the heart of the renewal of Catholic education. They are just two examples of teachers you want to put in front of your children and grandchildren every day. They are a blessing to our students, our families, our school, and the Church in Utah. But attracting and hiring incredible teachers is not enough. We need to retain them with just pay and high-quality continuing education. Training transforms teachers, and teachers transform students. Each and every one of you can ignite hope for the future by partnering with Chesterton in forming the next generation of Catholics, providing the space in which it all takes place, and strengthening the faculty who make it all happen. At this point, I am pleased to introduce Hal Sanderson, the chairman of the board, who will share how we can partner together to achieve these accelerators.